Guess who has work from home data entry jobs? This girl. So, of course, today we're going to talk about the data entry jobs. Yes, they are 100% remote. Yes, we'll get into the salary and the job description, and I will do my resume demos that I know you guys love. And we will talk about, different things that you'll need to have in order to qualify for this job. And spoiler alert, you don't need to have any experience, and I will talk about why you don't. So I did want to give a super duper quick shout out to Smithy, who is going to be starting at Yelp in February. He saw my video that I did on Yelp. He applied and he's got the job. Okay. The next person I wanted to give a shout out to is going to be Kip Evans. He saw the Discover video and he got the job at Discover. My girl Nisi is starting American Express. So shout out to all of you people that actually watch these videos. You apply, you get the jobs. Now you're securing the bag. I'm just so freaking excited for you guys. So thank you so much for giving me these updates and letting me know that you're actually staying in the loop and learning from these videos. So let's go ahead and hop into the first opportunity, and shout out to Party of Six for asking me to do this data entry job. I hadn't even thought about that. So thank you for the idea. I've seen other people suggesting it. So let's go ahead and hop into that. And of course, you guys let me know what else you want to see. So let's hop in. All right, folks. So let's hop into these opportunities. Again, these are going to be data entry opportunities. They're going to be fully remote and they are going to be international. So a lot of you say, Jazzy, you always do stuff for the US, but what about us folks that don't live in the US? What about us? Well, this is going to apply to those of you that live outside of the United States. Now, I'm going to show you the job description, and of course, we'll talk about the salary, but I will also show you the job numbers. So make sure you look out for that. But I just want to get into CVS because CVS is a great company to work for. Of course, they are internationally known. So if you were to wanted to go into the medical field or anything like that, it's just great to have on your resume. It's a great place to get experience. But our first opportunity, let me go here to it. And here we go. So it's going to be for the provider data services specialist. And as you see, it says international. Now, please do not apply for this job until you've seen the resume demonstration, because there are a lot of specific hot words that need to be in your resume in order to increase your chances of having a recruiter reach out to you. Now, I do want to emphasize that if you want the just generic resume template, you can get that. But if you want the specific one that I'm using in this particular video, and you want the interview questions and answers, make sure you choose the option for the Ultimate Resume Kit. That's going to be the one that has the actual example that we're doing today. But it says this individual must be a highly motivated self-starter with the ability to work well, work in a fast-paced environment, and you're going to be responsible for maintaining provider data, which is demographics, for all network and non-network providers and maintenance associated with projects. Now, I do want to emphasize that if you all don't have this particular experience, CVS will train you. If you've got any type of experience in some sort of customer service, call center, collections, you've worked in like billing support, you've worked in retail services, that is still all very relevant, experience that goes along with this job. So don't, get all hung up on, oh, I don't have that particular experience. So yes, they will train you. Now, The pay for this job is going to be $17 to $27 per hour. We always encourage you to negotiate up. We want to get you as close to that maximum amount as possible, if not more, depending on where you live. But some of the things that they want you to have is just good organizational skills and good communication, critical thinking, and problem solving skills, and be proficient in Microsoft Office applications. Now, a preferred qualification is someone that's worked with the Aetna data systems. Again, this is not a requirement. It's just a nice to have. But if you've never worked with Aetna, you can always just, Google it. Aetna's like the insurance company. And knowledge of EPDB and PRMS. Now, let me just tell you what those are. Some of you that have worked in like medical billing and coding, you already know what these terms are. EPDB is going to be it's extended permanent disability benefit. And then PRMS is going to stand for Professional Risk Management Services. Don't let these acronyms fool you or, trip you up. These are just fancy ways of saying this is, some abbreviations for the types of data that you'll be entering. So again, education is associate's degree or equivalent work experience. That would be 1 to 2 years of work experience in some sort of customer facing role. So I want to be clear that again, they will train you on a lot of these things. This is an international role. You can apply if you live outside of the US, but make sure you put this job ID number, which is 2302086BR. Okay. So that's the international one that anyone can apply for anywhere in the world. So let's look at the other opportunity. The other opportunity is going to be similar, a little bit different, but I want to also point out, here's the job ID for you. It's also a provider data. Why can I say that? Provider data services specialist. Now, this one is, again, it's similar, but they've got something called QNXT that they are going to be entering data into. And when it comes to QNXT, it's basically just a software that's used to enter claim information to process insurance claims. So if you don't know what that is, again, they will train you on that, but it's great to have at least a basic understanding of what QNXT is, or as some people call it, QNext. It's going to be a form of data entry and just a claim system for processing claims. Now, you're going to see acronyms like this, AHCCCS. That is just a very big acronym for Arizona Healthcare Cost Contaminant System. And again, this is not stuff that the everyday average person will know, even if you've got experience in data entry. So it always helps to just look up these, acronyms. So if they come up in a hiring process, if the manager is asking you if you know these acronyms, you can at least speak to what they are from a high level. Now, this job is also going to pay up to $27 per hour. And they're saying it's nice if you have, ability to handle multiple assignments, you have good written and oral communication skills, but it's also nice if you've got some SQL experience or Excel experience. We've all used Excel. There's QNext again, and they're saying it's nice if you've got billing claims processing or billing knowledge. Let me just tell you, when it comes to like medical billing and coding, it sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's something that you can easily learn. A lot of it is just knowing the abbreviations and then knowing how to enter patient information into different systems, things of that nature. But you could just watch a YouTube on it to basically get a high level understanding in addition to the training that they'll also give you. So this is also a great opportunity for someone that doesn't fully have that medical billing experience, but you want to get the experience. This is how you get your foot in the door. This is how you get, that medical billing and coding training without having to pay for a certification or pay for, a semester at somebody's college. So, they may ask you about something called the adjudication process, which is just a fancy way of saying, the claims process or reviewing claims process. So again, watching a YouTube video on like QNext or, just introduction to medical billing and coding is enough to help you get past the recruiter screen. Again, we'll do the resume breakdown now, but I just want you to know that there are ways for you to prep for the interview if you have limited, like exposure or training in this area. So let's look at the resume. And the reason why I wanted to really do this resume breakdown is because a lot of you sometimes get a little bit self-conscious and you're like, Jazzy, what do I put on it? So here we go right here for my peoples. Now, here's how I would do my resume. And for all of you that don't know, I've got experience like in technology and finance, but my first like professional stuff was actually in the medical field. And I also went to college like for nursing, but I switched over eventually and got into technology. So just want to put it out there. I know a little bit about this stuff. Okay. So our professional summary would say something to the effect of we're a passionate leader, agent, rep, whatever you want to call yourself, with experience in customer service, medical research, billing and claims. We're enthusiastic. We're excited to collaborate with CVS business units to provide a world-class customer experience through the Aetna claims process. Why are we using words like this? Well, we know that these are hot words, okay? These are going to be words that really make us stand out among other candidates if we truly have this experience. If you don't have the experience, obviously, you can take a Udemy course on this, or you could, watch YouTube to get like a general understanding of it. But these are going to be some things that you'll want to call out in your resume. Now, I always have to give my disclaimer. Please don't just lie about your experience. If you've never used SQL, you've never used Excel, don't put all that stuff on your resume. If you've never even watched a training video on this stuff, then just don't be that person that completely lies about their experience. At least watch training videos on YouTube or on Udemy before you do that. But let's say you worked at LabCorp as a customer service rep. You weren't exactly in medical billing and coding, but you worked on the customer service side. So maybe you made changes to patient demographic, you updated their insurance information. Perhaps you took payments. Maybe you did some training on the HIPAA guidelines. Maybe you completed medical records requests from physician offices or medical facilities. Maybe you did some things with helping set up payment plans for patients, or you handled collections for unpaid patient balances. You did some type of billing and coding during that process of being a customer service rep, that you had to maybe escalate to the billing team. So this is just just kind of an example of ways that you can ultimately kind of write out your resume so that, it highlights whatever customer support experience you've got, but it also calls out some things that are just very relevant to the CVS role. So when we've got these hot words in here, that's when we start getting callbacks. In fact, let me see, where's that comment? Somebody left a comment on my YouTube about using my resume. And they said within 2 hours of uploading it, they actually got a callback. Oh, it's from AF. She said, "Hi, Jazzy. I found you yesterday. Not sure how, but I'm so glad I did. I used your resume templates. I revamped my resume and uploaded it to a job site, which I've had my resume posted on for 2 weeks with absolutely 0 hits. And after 2 hours of uploading, I was contacted by a recruiter for ADP and asked to apply. Girl, whoa, wow, you are the real deal." This is what I want you all to be able to say when you use these templates. Okay. So make sure if you want this exact template, that you go and select the option that says Ultimate Resume Kit. Otherwise, you will just get the generic resume template. So that is all that I have for you lovely babies today. I hope that you apply. Please make sure you come back and let me know if you have any questions or if there are any other types of videos that you want to see. And if not, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, and actually, I wanted to show you all one more thing. So I wanted to show you like some sample interview questions, because I got to make sure you all are prepped and you have everything that you need. So if you land the interview at CVS, here are some of the questions you may be asked. And if you get the Ultimate Resume Kit, you'll actually have an answer key for these. I'm going to put the answer key down at the bottom for these questions. But you may be asked questions like, what is adjudication? Well, we talked about, it's kind of like just the general claims process. What are 3 things to look for during the adjudication process? You may want to look for duplicate claims. Maybe you look for if there is participation from a physician, or if there was a physician referral completed before a service was done, things like that. Again, I'll put the answer key down here. How do you verify patient eligibility? What is a claim denial versus a rejection? Other questions like, how do you deal with conflict in the workplace? The tell me about yourself question that everybody dreads, walk me through your resume. What does CVS stand for? So those are all questions that you may, anticipate during the hiring process. And some of the other questions that you may want to ask the manager are just, what's an ideal candidate look like in this role? What do my first 90 days look like? When you ask those types of questions, they make you stand out from other candidates. You look like you're super interested in the job and like you're there to really make a difference. So this is how people are able to negotiate higher salaries, because they make such a good impression on the hiring manager that the hiring manager is like, hey, compensation team, can we actually pay this person a little bit more? I think they deserve it. So let me know if you have questions. These are going to be down below in the description box. So there you have it. Those are the data entry work from home opportunities. Again, the resume templates are down below in the description box, but I did want to address some questions that I have been getting for a lot of you that are returning to the workforce. And you say, Jazzy, I have gaps in, my work history. What is the best answer, for why I have those gaps if a hiring manager asks me? And the best thing that you can say as an explanation for why you have gaps in your work history is to be honest. Listen, this isn't the 1950s where you're supposed to work a job for 30 years, never miss a day of work, and basically just have this unwavering loyalty to companies. It's not that way anymore, especially when we've spent the last 2 years in a pandemic. What you have to understand is people are more sympathetic than you think. So if you had to take 2 years off from work so that you could care for a parent, or so that you could care for a spouse that was sick, or maybe you had a child that had some sort of disability that you had to oversee, people understand that. It's okay. Me personally, I have a brother that has autism, and I can't tell you, how many times my mom, would have to stop what she's doing to go to the school and make sure he's okay. When he was younger. And, so people have to do that sort of stuff. It's totally okay if you just needed to take a year or 2 off to just focus on yourself. It's not a big deal. So don't beat yourself up about that, and don't lie, on your resume to try to cover up gaps. It's okay if you've got a gap in employment. The next thing that a lot of people ask me about is cover letters. I do have cover letters in the resume kit, but I want to emphasize that a lot of companies don't like really read them. However, if you come across a job application that specifically asks for a cover letter, then yes, obviously you would want to like upload the cover letter. But like, don't beat yourself up if like you've applied for, the Discover job or like, the Yelp job or whatever, and you didn't have a cover letter. It's not going to like knock you out of the running and cost you the job. It's not that serious. It's just a nice to have, but it's not that serious. When it comes to negotiating, people have said, Jazzy, I know we've like been seeing people get laid off and blah, blah, blah. Can I still negotiate my salary? The answer will always be 1000% yes. Please make sure you are not accepting the first offer. At least ask for more. The reason why I show you these salary ranges is because I want you to know what the possibilities are for what you can get. Yeah, it's the recruiter's job to offer you something that is on the lower end of the scale, but it is up to the compensation team, not the hiring manager. The compensation team is going to determine if you're able to get more salary, a bigger sign-on bonus, a relocation bonus if you choose to go into an office, if you get more stock. All of those are going to be options, but they're not going to just like offer it all up like to you up front. You're going to have to ask for some of it. So make sure you're demanding your worth and you're doing your research. So I will see you all in the next video. Let me know if you have questions. Grab the templates down below and good luck on your interviews. Bye.